Hey MiniWarGamers, welcome to another Machine Shop with Ash. This is my weekly show about war games and wargamers where we pick a topic and discuss it. Usually I'm going to editorialize, expand, or maybe just give my, completely uneducated opinion on whatever it is that sparked my interest for this week. My topics usually come from comments, questions, and discussions with you guys, so if you do have an idea for a topic for Machine Shop, or you just want to hear me rant and rave about something, you can hit me up here, usually in the comments on YouTube, my own personal YouTube channel, or on the Facebook page, or my personal Facebook page is the best place to do it. If you message me on the MiniWarGaming page, we get so many messages that I probably won't see it. So message me on my own Facebook page, which is facebook.com/outofthebasement-into-the-streets, and we can talk about ideas for the Machine Shop. It's you guys that keep the show going, get my brain moving on different topics and discussion points in wargaming. So thank you for that. And let's talk about what we're talking about this week, which is 1,000,001 rumors. It's an interesting topic. Rumors in wargaming. Heck, rumors in general. Now, everything in life is surrounded by rumors, typically. If you have an interest, if you're interested in something, be it politics, sports cars, baseball teams, trading cards, anything. I could just free associate here for an hour. If you have an interest in a thing, typically other people share that interest, and that means there's going to be rumors about it. And rumors are kind of the lifeblood of discussion. Now, what's happened, I think, in the last 20 years, since the internet's been formed, and I realize that some of you people watching this show were born into a world where the internet was already a thing. I wasn't. The internet was not really a thing until I was probably in my mid-teenage years, and then it was just slow dial-up modems and bulletin board systems and BBS discussions. Anybody who knows what a BBS is probably is around my age. If you remember what a BBS was, or having to dial a phone number to connect to the internet. But the internet's become the new knitting circle of the world. When I say knitting circle, this is an oldie-timey way of talking about how rumors get started. So knitting circles used to be the thing that the spouses would do, and this is I'm not trying to play a roles and gender card here, but in olden times when roles were more gender assigned, what would happen is the man would go off to work, and then he would congregate with his friends, typically there in the workplace. Women who were staying at home, because that was the gender role of the age, 100 years ago, they would collect in home environments like a knitting circle. And it was an old time saying that more information got passed through knitting circles than in any other format. You could, if you wanted something to get known, you tell someone in the knitting circle and the entire town will know in 48 hours. And so when I say the internet's become the new knitting circle, it's what it is. It's where people get together and talk about something. Now, this is a tradition as old as time. I'm pretty sure if you went back 2,000 years, you'd see a couple legionnaires standing on Hadrian's wall, leaning on their pilum, discussing what was going back on in Rome. It's a way that we pass the time. It's a way that we expand our understanding of things and stay interested in things. Now, a rumor, though, is exactly that. It could be true, it could be false, it's of an unknown quantity. The reason it's a rumor is that it's unverified. And so what we're going to talk about today is, in addition to just the nature of rumors, also the impact that has potentially on the interest that we all share, which is miniature wargaming. So without any further ado, let's explore that. Let's talk about the nature of rumors themselves, maybe some examples of rumors, and then the impact that it has on us personally in the interest that we all share, which is miniature wargaming. So now what's really interesting about internet rumors is that the whole art of spreading rumor and the connection that we have now through the internet to do so at the speed of light. If someone has an idea of something that might happen, the internet is literally at his fingertips, usually on his phone, in a computer in front of him, on a tablet. He can take that idea, be it true or false, and in seconds give millions and billions of people across the globe access to it. And because it's an instantaneous and unverified transmission method, you have no idea whether the person who typed that knows what they're talking about or not. It is automatically, typically, a rumor. There's no references, there's no citations, there's no, this is the person that said that, here's the documentation of him saying it. It's just an idea sent into the wild on the internet. Now, I'm going to go back in time and talk about the early days of miniature wargaming on the internet, and a site called Portent. If you've ever talked to people on the forum Warseer and talked about the oldie-timey days, the olden days, Portent.net was one of the first biggest Warhammer and Warhammer 40,000, primarily Warhammer 40,000 websites on the internet. And the reason it became so popular was it was full of rumors. It was the first place that I think had the idea to aggregate rumors and information into one place and make a forum for people then to discuss it. So there would be a little trending poll of rumors, things people had heard, things people had made up. You know, maybe 5 or 6% of it would be true, and the rest of it would just be a great way to start conversation, have people theorize, and what happened organically over time, Portent disappeared, became the forum Warseer, was it grew into a community of people having their knitting circle on the internet, having their discussion forum to talk about the thing that was of common interest to them. In this case, typically Warhammer 40,000. Now, Warseer has expanded to other games, other systems, as wargaming in general has grown, just like the use of the internet to discuss wargaming has grown. That news and rumor site has given way to tons of others. But if I was to give credit where credit's due, Portent.net, you started the internet rumors for wargaming aggregation culture that we now find ourselves in here in 2015. I could name tons of other sites, Mexican Orc, Fayette something number, I don't remember the number, I just know that it's got Fayette, which is a cool word, so that was a thing. Daka Daka, just Bell Lost Souls, these are all Beasts of War, these are all people that make their sort of living, if you could say that, their internet living, being a great aggregator for news and rumors. So whoever these people are who are creating the news and rumors or posting on these forums, it gets aggregated in these places and then discussed. And it's a great launching off point. So from a business idea, so for instance, if you're Bell of Lost Souls or you're Beasts of War and you're now a company, you're now making money, rumors are a great way to get eyeballs. If people come back and see the rumors and listen to the rumors and hear about the rumors, they are generating eyeballs, they're generating views. So whether it's on YouTube, generate YouTube income, whether it's through banner ads and sponsors. I believe Beasts of War actually does commercials inside their videos now, the discussion videos, so you'll see a little 10-second clip where it cuts away and it becomes a commercial. There is an actual business around rumors. And so rumors, in and of themselves, of course, fairly harmless, right? You're talking about an interest, you're talking about what might be in an interest. And we'll get to the emotional reaction that can happen around rumors. And if you really want to talk about, you know, rumors and changes, there's another episode of the Machine Shop I did about changes in general, shaking up the game, that that we explain more about that. So we're not going to get too in depth into that. But there's an actual value now in continuing to proliferate, aggregate, and find or even generate rumors on the internet, because that creates that gathers attention, collects attention, and on the internet, attention, viewership, eyeballs, just like us here at MiniWarGaming, although we do it through just playing the game, is money. It's revenue. So attention is revenue. Google knows it. All these big internet companies and providers know it because that's what they do. They create things, big billboards. If you remember the Futurama, in the future of the internet in Futurama, it was just a million billboards floating in the sky, and your little digital avatar walks around 1,000 million signs being waved in their face every day. It's not far off. And the bait with which our attention is captured, a lot of times for a lot of these wargaming websites, is things like news and rumors. So that's kind of where we've gotten to. There's the history of it a little bit. There's the website that kind of started it all. Some examples of websites that are now powerful aggregators with huge audiences and a huge amount of attention that will find out or create or post because it's all unverified until it becomes reality, which we'll talk about in the second half of this. Rumors, and there's I think a unique perspective that comes from understanding why they would want to do it. There is actually value in starting a very hotly debated, much contested, and much viewed rumor. And that's an actual income value for the website hosting that rumor. Whether it's through banner clicks, advertising, views, whatever it is, capturing eyeballs on the internet is of value. So the next time you think about a rumor, or a hot rumor, a rumor that's been posted so many places that it can't possibly not be true, think about why it might be getting posted, reposted, retweeted, reblogged, whatever it is. If it's hot, if it's capturing pieces of attention, the internet has an actual quantifiable value for that. So before you dive in with both feet into believing a rumor or buying into a rumor, understand that the more controversial and the more powerful a rumor, the more valuable it is to the internet. And that's not a good thing or a bad thing, but it's something that if you have that in the back of your head when you're thinking about rumors in general, it helps you to rationalize your own personal emotional reaction to it. And you can maybe more clearly see, well, What does this rumor mean for me? And what could this rumor mean just for the popularity of rumors? So let's take some example of rumors. Now, an interesting example of rumors. Back in summer of, I think, 2014, I don't have an exact date, I just remember seeing it. Somebody posted a rumor about seeing plastic Harlequins on jet bikes. And it was, you know, a hot rumor for about 5 minutes. It was kind of exciting for about 5 minutes because nothing really ever came of it. And then, like most rumors do, it petered away and was kind of put in a box and forgotten. Now, what's interesting is, in February of 2015, bam, we've got Harlequins on jet bikes all of a sudden. Plastic Harlequins. If you'd have asked me if I thought we'd see plastic Harlequins on jet bikes ever, I would have said no. I would have been like, no, that's an 80s thing, man. That's a chip that might get cashed in the future for nostalgia purposes, but not necessarily a chip that you're gonna see right away. Like a plastic kit's a big investment. Seeing plastic whatever, well, I guess it would have to be plastic now because GW's not releasing fine cast or metal miniatures anymore. They're just doing resin through Forge World. They're doing plastic through the main Citadel line. So I guess it would have to be plastic if I do wrap my mind around it. It doesn't seem that far off now that it's actually happened. But it's a great example of a not necessarily so hot rumor. It didn't get carried through, you know, right up until release. It was kind of discussed. Somebody probably saw them somewhere, put forward, and most people went, nah, it never happened. People like me probably said, nah, it never happened. And it didn't happen for, I don't know, let's say September, October, November, December, January, February, 6 months. That's enough time for a rumor to cool off. But then all of a sudden, bam, you've got somebody gets a copy of White Dwarf, you've got Harlequins on the cover, and it's kicked off again, and it's actually true. It's a true rumor. So there's an example of a rumor that, you know, might not have been super valuable to the people who were at the time making it make the rounds, you know, who were putting it forward, even though maybe that person actually had the facts straight, actually had physically seen those Harlequins on jet bikes, but it did actually come true in the future. And so now let's take an example of a unverified, and we don't know if it's happening or not, rumor. And I'm going to use the hot one right now, 9th edition Warhammer Fantasy. I'm not going to go into the details. You guys, if you're excited about Warhammer Fantasy or you're Warhammer Fantasy fans or you've just been on the internet in general in the last 5 months, I've heard about all kinds of things, round bases and bubble universes and, you know, new Space Marine Holy Warrior armies that will ride to the dinosaurs or something. I don't know. The Lizardmen left all their dinosaurs behind. Now these Space Marines are going to ride them. Who knows? It's all kinds of madness and it's all huge in game shifting and shaking, and it could be true, it could not be true. But that's just a rumor. At this point, we don't know. 9th edition hasn't come out. It's not verified. I have not seen a 9th edition army book that shows all these miniatures on round bases. I've seen a miniature, which is a War Machine on round base. Maybe that's important, maybe it's not. People were reading into things like the new End Times Archeon book. All of the miniatures all the bases being obscured by smoke, which I think is hilarious. I almost hope it's not true, in that will be the best like misconstrued thing ever. But if it is true, that's like the cagiest internet capture ever, where that people actually notice, like, oh, you can't see their bases. It's all obscured by smoke. They're all round bases. Who knows? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Honestly, I don't care either way. I'll just keep playing the game. But there's an example of a huge, really hot, captured tons of attention. I'll never know, but I can't imagine the number of hits, clicks, views, likes, retweets, forwards, shares that's actually generated in the last 6 months. In questions alone, I would say I've gotten a couple of hundred people asking me in the last 6 months whether or not I know it's true, whether or not I think it's true, or even just my opinion on what it'll do for me in my hobby, whether I'll cancel Old World Wars and throw all my miniatures in a pile and take my ball and go home, which I think is the most hilarious one, because I could never imagine doing that ever with any of my miniatures, throwing them in a box. That would just hurt my soul. It'd be like throwing my children in a box. So who knows? That's a who knows. It's crazy, it's wacky, it's out there. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's all gonna come to pass. Maybe it's not true. Nobody knows. But it's done exactly what most of the aggregator sites wanna do, is it's caused an absolute commotion and hubbub and generated tons of traffic to those rumor sites. I'm gonna imagine when that lit off, those guys probably had some of their best overall like days of the last year for just traffic, likes, signups, whatever it is they do that, allows them to generate revenue off those websites. They probably had some pretty sweet days in the last 6 or 8 months. So there we go. So there's some talking about the nature of news and rumors on the internet, what it can do, how it's used to capture attention, what the value is in a really hot, exciting rumor. If you were not interested in miniature wargaming, but actually interested in celebrity gossip, TMZ is the closest analog. Those paparazzi guys that follow around movie stars and rock stars or whatever, taking pictures and try and find out, I don't know what Justin Bieber's new tattoo looks like or something like that. That's exactly what news and rumors websites are for popular culture versus our niche culture. And they do the same thing, and they make money the same way. They make money off attention. Those people make money off being looked at, and all of the revenue that's get generated by like advertising or aggregating or whatever it is, traffic and views. So let's talk about the impact of that on wargamers things. I think that's a separate topic. Rumors can be crazy, they can be nuts. We're not going to talk about the way that you deal with changes in the game. I already did a show on that. Just click the link below. You can scroll down in my playlist of different machine shops and talk about shaking up the game. But let's talk about the impact that it can have on us as wargamers, or my experience that rumors can have on impacting us as wargamers. All right, so let's talk about rumors and their impact on us as miniature wargamers and wargaming enthusiasts in general. So I want to do a list. I'm going to list off things that rumors do, I said do, and things that rumors don't do. That's going to be, is going to be something, it's going to post in the comments below. Ash, here's what rumors do, haha, Ash 2050. And there's some commenter on the MiniWarGaming site that always pulls the stupid things that come out of my mouth, and it's like my favorite thing. Please don't ever stop doing it, because every time I see it, I laugh out loud. So here's what rumors do not do. Yeah, gotcha that time. They don't come to your house and steal your miniatures. They just don't. Like, having an emotional reaction on what might happen to your miniature collection, it's all going to be based on your values, right? What you value in that miniature collection. Did you buy it for how it looks and what it physically is, or did you buy it because of what it metaphysically does inside a rule set? One can typically be threatened. The other one can also be threatened, but usually only by a cooler looking miniature coming out and you going, oh, I have to own that now. So that more threatens your wallet than it does your emotions. Unless you bought them 5 minutes ago and now all of a sudden there's a cooler one coming out and you kind of regret your purchase. But they don't come to your house and steal and take your models. Like, rumors will, what you already own will stay the same forever. Likewise, they won't change or get rid of what you already have. If you have an edition of a game you like, a codex you like, whatever, they don't change that. And again, this is something I touched on in the changes video, but if you want to keep playing with your old codex at home with your friends, or at home with your kid, or at home with your small collection of gaming group, and you don't often play against strangers, then an edition change or a rulebook change or a fluff change does nothing for you. Zip! Ask the guys that wrote Pathfinder how much the 3rd edition D&D change impacted their lives. Not at all! They just kept playing AD&D. They just called it something else and wrote a new rulebook for it, and basically it was just AD&D, but it was Pathfinder. Having never actually played AD&D myself, I don't know that. I don't know much of their rulebooks, but I was definitely in a lot of hobby shops for when that, I'm going to call it cataclysm, occurred in the Dungeons & Dragons world, and it was talked about a lot. Rumors flew around, and a whole faction split off and just kept playing the game that they liked the way they liked it with Pathfinder. So here's what rumors are. Here's a list of things that rumors are. They're not real until they're real. So rumors are unverified. That is the thing that they certainly are. And they are not necessarily something you can put stock in. If I was asked to buy a stock based on a rumor, I would not do it. I would buy a stock based on research, facts, hard data. I want to know how much it's going to rain in Florida before I start buying oranges or stocking oranges, or how the purchasing patterns of orange juice aficionados worldwide look in 2013 before I go investing in oranges in 2014. I'm not going to base anything on rumor and speculation, because what happens then, here's another thing that rumors actually do, insert that from now on, is they get inside your head and they make you doubt what you currently know. And that can be very detrimental to your enjoyment of what you're currently doing. Most hobbyists, whether they are sort of like mentally aware of it or not, they have a plan ahead of them. They have some type of steps or order that they're doing things in currently in their hobby, that when it gets interrupted or it becomes a more uncertain path. So for instance, I am getting ready to go play in the Las Vegas Open. I'm not actually doing that, but I'm looking at the Las Vegas Open rule pack right now because I'm thinking about doing some content based on popular tournament formats and writing army lists for them and playing through the missions. And how do you get ready for a tournament? Anyway, down the road, you'll see that down the road. But let's say I'm planning on getting ready for a tournament. So what I've done is I've read the tournament pack, I've looked at my codex, I've looked at my army, I've written up a 1850 point 40K list for the game I'm excited about. It's based on those missions, it's based on the current meta, and all of a sudden I hear rumors that there's going to be a new codex coming out. Not for my army, but for an army that my army really struggles with. And all of a sudden I look at my list selection and I'm halfway through painting it, and I've bought all the models and I've got my display board all drilled out so every miniature has a place, and I'm not sure anymore if I want to include X unit or Y unit or whatever. That's what rumors can do to you. They can get inside your head and become insidious. They can make you doubt your plan, make you doubt what you're doing right now. And that right there, that's where hobby time, which is precious and which we all cling on to because it's, you know, the time we get to spend the thing doing we really enjoy, it can get all muddied because that hobby time can suddenly get infected with the worrying about what might be and what might happen and what might actually be the case. It's happening to me right now with my Chaos Army for Fantasy. I got it all of the boxes, I looked at it all, I cataloged all the miniatures I had. Man, I got some crazy Chaos miniatures for Fantasy. And as soon as the Fantasy rumors came out, I was like, oh, new edition of Fantasy? I'm not building any of that anymore. And I just put the boxes aside. And I was like, but I'll finish the armies I have. So I'm going to finish my Iron Blasters for my Ogres. I'm going to finish painting the rest of my stuff for my Dwarves. But Steve and I both. He's got an Empire Army sitting in boxes, mostly built. I have a Chaos Army sitting in boxes, mostly built. And we're like, well, let's see what happens. And so we're just as susceptible to rumors and what rumors can do to you as anybody else. The difference was I didn't stop playing Warhammer because of it. I've got Old World Wars. You guys would probably string me up if I stopped filming Old World Wars. But instead I just focused attention on stuff that I knew wasn't going to change. My Dwarf Army is 20 years old and has models going back to the 80s. It's just going to keep getting built. Like I'm just going to keep adding stuff to it. And the same with like my Ogre Kingdom Army. It was built in 2003. It's 12 years old now. My Ogre Kingdom Army is older than War Machine. That's crazy. Almost 13 years old. Yeah, so that army is so old that like, it's madness. Anyway, it's an army that I'm not going to stop adding to, and I'm just going to keep building and keep adding units to. I'm not going to worry and freak out about whether or not that army is current edition. It's a collection of miniatures that I have, and I'm just going to finish it off. I got stuff that's in the works, and I'm going to go do that. So I think the moral of the story is, if those are the things that it doesn't do, and those are the things it does do, if you keep worrying about the future, you're going to stop enjoying the present. And that's always my concern with rumors. When I hear a rumor, whether or not I think it sounds, it's very plausible, that could happen, yeah, certainly. I don't worry about it. Plausible, implausible, I just file it away. I put it in my brain, and it's information I have perceived, cataloged, and is there for future reference, but I try not to make any judgments based on it. Because if I start making judgments on it, it's a very slippery slope to no longer enjoying the things I'm currently in and currently doing. And I don't want to do that. I love my hobby time. My hobby time is precious to me. You heard me talk about in my last week's machine shop how to incorporate all your other responsibilities into your hobby time. I have a future machine shop I'm planning about how to find the time, how to steal those moments to actually be productive and get stuff done. And so if I was going to waste those precious seconds and that precious hobby time I have for my responsibilities, for all my big boy life stuff that I have to do, like filming machine shops for you guys so that someone doesn't come and, I don't know, like tow me behind their car until I go and film more of them, then I would not actually be able to enjoy my hobby. I think I would burn out. I think you wouldn't see me doing this anymore if I didn't take the opportunity to enjoy what I was doing while I was doing it. I didn't, shelve and put aside the stuff that could keep me from doing so. So there it is, guys. There's my discussion on rumors. There's, I think, the way that they impact me, certainly, and what I try and do about it. I mean, it's a struggle. I'm not perfect. I can't shove everything. I mean, I just described to you guys how the rumors about 9th edition have stalled me and Steve doing anything. If there is a new edition of Warhammer coming out, we're not going to get ahead of ourselves and start building something we have to go and undo in 2 or 3 months, because, typically if there's a new edition, I got until June. June's when I'll know for sure. So if by June there isn't 9th edition fantasy, you'll see me start building my Chaos Army and Steve will start building his Empire Army, which is not that far off. It's 4 months away, which in gaming terms, actually in just my life terms, just seems to fly by. Every month is just another gray chin hair or something like that. So please, if you are hearing rumors, if you're thinking about rumors in general, first of all, remember what those rumor websites are for and those people spreading rumors. There's a certain amount of geek credit about being the guy that breaks a rumor or breaks something. Those guys are the golden boys for rumors. I swear, their hobby has probably primarily become unearthing real life rumors. I can just imagine some kind of almost get smart-ish scheme where there's guys hanging out in Bugman's bar with like directional mics trying to listen to what the staff members of the design studio guys are talking about in the evenings to uncover the next secret adventure of whoever. Although those guys in the design studio live so far in the future that most people would probably do what I did with the Harlequins and discredit anything that they overheard, because it would just sound like it was crazy, because it's probably something planned for way down the road. Because it takes so long to tool miniatures and get stuff ready for production and actually in production, that the design step of it is happening way in the future, like way in the future. Like those Harlequins that we just saw were probably actually finished like a year and a half ago, and they've just been sitting ready to go into full production and ship, because you can't, like the build up time to that stuff is like huge. So anyway, that's it, and that's my discussion of it. I'm going to keep rambling on and dithering on about rumors and the impact rumors and the interesting rumors, but if you can keep it in your head, why do these websites want to have hot rumors and controversial rumors? The people that are breaking these rumors, what's in it for them? There's a certain amount of geek credit, and then really what they do and don't do. Rumors aren't going to change anything you already own. If you're really concerned about the meta and the validity of what you're doing and the official currentness of it all, then that might impact you in an emotional way, but really nothing physically changes for you at home the second that a rumor breaks. And that if it's keeping you from enjoying what you're doing right now, that's precious. Nothing should keep you from enjoying your hobby time. Your hobby time is for you to go decompress, let the goblins in your brain quiet down for a while, and come out a more relaxed, adjusted person. I just said adjusted person. I'm like the least adjusted person ever. But anyway, that's what it's for. That's what it's ideally supposed to do, which is why I need to spend lots of time doing it, because I just get crazier the longer I go without doing it, and nobody wants that. So let's check out what's on my painting table. I'm done blathering on, and we'll show you what I got done this week. All right, so finished up on the painting table this week, I've got some Kazakhs for my Ariadne army for Infinity. These are the original Kazakh models, and in fact, these models are from 2009 and are the first Infinity miniatures I ever purchased. These are from the original box set of the Ariadne army, and it's 3 Kazakhs with rifles, just line Kazakhs, and he was like a lieutenant or an FO, the dude in the mic over there. They've since been resculpted, but I just wouldn't feel right owning miniatures and not painting them. So before I was allowing myself to buy any of the new line Kazakh miniatures, I wanted to paint the ones I have. Now they've been done in some cool urban bases, which kicked something off. I'd actually just cheated out and not put cool urban bases on my newer and stuff, so I felt bad. So what I did next, I went back and actually made cool urban bases for the miniatures I assembled and base coated. So you guys have seen these guys before. These are my 2 new dog soldiers. I ripped them off the sanded bases they had, made them new bases, and then glued them back down. So yeah, I felt like I cheaped them out. They weren't going to match everybody anymore, so I went and did them. So there's still some guys with sand bases in my Ariadne army, but for the most part now they've all got these plastic card bases. If you want to see how I built them, just go on the MiniWarGaming Facebook page, or on my personal Facebook page, or on my blog, guerrillaminiaturegames./WordPress or .wordpress.com. And I did a quick step-by-step on how to make yourself cool urban plastic art bases. It's really simple. And then in the next painting queue, the rest of my Ariadne stuff that I just bought. Again, bad, wrap me on the knuckles. I've been buying miniatures. I'm not supposed to be for my New Year's resolution. But I really wanted this Kazakh veteran with HMG, and I really wanted a dozer, and I really wanted this Spetsnaz. He's a new Ariadne model, and he's so cool looking. He looks like he started a Metro 2033. And then next to him was a dude with a fire axe, and I couldn't not buy a guy with a shotgun and a fire axe. He's the 112, which for those of you not in Europe, is the 911 of Europe. You dial 112 for emergency services. And yeah, he's a fireman with an axe and a shotgun. And no matter whether he's a Kazakh or not, he had to be in my army to settle with my buddy Jay Zajac, who you see me play World Wars with. The ultimate lesson of what's better, fire axe or crowbar. So Jay, if you're watching this, go model something with a crowbar, and I'm gonna hit it with a fire axe. So here it is. There's my on the painting table for this week. Lots more to come. I need to unearth some Space Wolf stuff because I'm probably gonna be playing some 40k bat reps in the near future. I might poll you guys on what I should make for a new HQ, because now Logan Grimdar's a load of war. He can't lead my army anymore, which means I need an HQ choice for my Space Wolves, and I don't know, debating rune smiths, or sorry, rune priests, or Thunderwolf Cav, or stuff. So talk to me on Facebook about it. I'll probably post up some options and get you guys to vote on it. And there's my last little bits for my Ariadne army for Infinity. Need to get painted, and when they're painted, all my Ariadne stuff's done, and I can go back and repaint my whole Toho army, because I've decided that I didn't like how I painted my Toho army, and I want to redo it. Because sometimes I'm fickle and I do those things. Alright guys, well thanks for watching another episode of The Machine Shop. If you want to talk to me about this episode, anything I talked about, or ideas for a future episode, hit me up in the comments. You can reply to my comments on the YouTube video of this. It's usually the best way to get me to see it. You can reply on the MiniWarGaming website, or you can talk to me on my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/outofthebasement-into-the-streets. That's usually the best way to get in touch with me, because it goes right to my phone, and I'll see it if you shoot me a message, or you post on my page. And I get that as a bloop, so then I actually reply. Until then, and until I talk to you guys or see you from another machine shop, this is Ash signing off, and happy wargaming.